In every community, there is a voice. In Milpitas, that voice is unique. That voice is diverse. That voice is innovative. That voice is expressive. That voice is multicultural. That voice is groundbreaking. That voice is thought-provoking. That voice is powerful. These are some of the residents from Milpitas who make up that voice. And they deserve a news source that will represent them to the fullest.
Hi everyone, this is Rhoda Shapiro, and I want to welcome you to the Milpitas Beats Unfiltered. Today we are here with our Milpitas mayoral candidates, and I want to introduce you to our host, Mitch Costanza. Enjoy the show.
How's everybody doing? I was just speaking to some of the candidates in the hallway, and I was talking about how growing up, I always saw these picket signs, and it was John Jorgensen or Denise Shapiro or whoever for town council, for this, who are they? What are, now we have the internet and we can find things out, but we don't have a lot of video. We don't have faces like we would Trump and Hillary and all that sort of thing, right? So now here on Unfiltered Milpitas Beat, we're going to give you that opportunity, and we're going to give the candidates an opportunity to let you know what they want to do for the city of Milpitas if elected. With that, let's introduce our panel. Why don't we start this way and just say who you are, and we'll head on down.
Hello. Thank you. My name is Voltaire Montemayor. I'm a geologist, an engineer, a technician, a chancellor, Knights of Columbus, a singer, and more. I'm a proud son of USAF, United States Armed Forces in the Far East. My mother was the Mother of the Year when I was in the Philippines. My wife works for Kaiser. She's a nurse. I have 3 wonderful sons. Right now, I'm helping the church, St. John the Baptist and St. Elizabeth. I want to adopt, if I could be elected, adopt, overcome, and improve Milpitas. Thank you.
Real quick, I just want to let everyone know that you don't have to look in any direction. We've got cameras happening all over the place. Thank you for sharing. Let's move on.
Hello, my name is Bob Nunez. I'm currently on the City Council. Prior to that, I was on the Milpitas School Board. Retired educator, 40 years. The last 4.5 as superintendent, Eastside Union High School District. I am involved in every service club in Milpitas, number of social justice organizations. Mostly I just like to be involved in the city of Milpitas. I've been here a number of years, being involved with students, families, adults. It's all about giving back for me because I'm retired, and I just want to be involved now at the mayoral level, mostly because it's an opportunity for me to make sure that we're going in the right direction now that we have the BART station here, and I love serving.
Thanks. Go for it.
My name is Yun Lee, and I'm a Christian. I'm a sports agent, a dad, a former professional basketball scout, and a concerned neighbor. I'm worried that Milpitas is heading in the wrong direction, and I've lost faith in politicians whose priorities are all wrong for our families. That's why I'm running for mayor. I believe we can and must do better. We have to make sure Milpitas invest in better life and affordable housing for our families. We must do a better job protecting our communities. And we have to get our economy moving again and get our neighbors back to work. Middle-class families in Milpitas deserve a mayor who will fight for them. I want to represent you, not big corporation and special interests. That's why I'm asking you and your family to help write the next chapter for the better Milpitas. Let's do it together, and we can do it. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Lee. Go ahead.
Yes, thank you. I'm Jose Esteves. I served for 6 terms as mayor of Milpitas, and I'm running for the 7th term. And the good news is it's not only the years and terms, it's that every year that I serve as mayor, I'm always selected by the people as best elected official. And that's something. And it's not only the title. All the growing up of Milpitas, like smart growth, are all during my administration as mayor. I have deep, deep roots in Milpitas. I've lived here for almost 40 years, more than anybody, any candidate here right now. And so I have a great feeling that Milpitas is my home. I serve with commitment. In fact, I may be one of the few elected officials who has not missed a single council meeting since I was elected in 1998. That's sure a commitment. And of course, that commitment is accompanied by accomplishment. Like, for example, students and families enjoy the Milpitas new library, which is my first project, on budget, on schedule. I'm the project founder of that building. The new senior center, where we give credits to our to people, to citizens who have served our community, and much, much more. I'm here to continue the excellence and high prestige of Milpitas because during my term, Milpitas has always been awarded national awards like Best Place to Live in the whole country, one of the best places, and even in the whole of California. And nobody can beat that. And so high prestige accompanied by excellence in government service. So when I go back, there are 3 things that I want to look into. Work with the school district for a quality education. We have great quality education, but we can do more for our children and family. Public safety, to protect our families and children first than anything else. And of course, on a day-to-day life, look at the traffic. We have to do something. And I've been working on that, like expansion of 237. So I'll be very happy to be back and serve the people of Milpitas, your families, your children, and businesses as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Mayor Tran.
Hey, thanks a lot, Mitch. First, I want to thank the Milpitas Beat for hosting this incredible platform for all the candidates to be here and to express themselves. How you doing? It's Rich Tran, the mayor of Milpitas, 17th mayor in the history of our city, your hometown mayor, your neighborhood mayor, and I'm so blessed to be sitting here today amongst all these great candidates. Hey, simply put, I think most folks out there that are watching, you know me. And I've been together with you every day since my first day through all the ups and downs. And I'm so proud to be your hometown mayor. And I think what separates me from these other candidates is my voting record. My voting record and my trust within the community. And I want to continue that trust and put Milpitas families first. Let's get started, Mitch.
Right on. Thank you so much. Thank all of you for your intro. I just want to let everybody know how this is going to go. Number one, I'm not a Milpitas resident, so I have no bias. And nobody gave me Sharks tickets in the hallway. So I'm totally, or the Bellator fight this Saturday at the arena. Anyways, this is how it's going to work. At least how we're going to try it. We're going to have a free-flowing conversation. We're going to try not to interrupt each other. I may jump in if somebody's long-winded, and that's okay, and just say, hey, 10 more seconds, and just wrap it up. We have plenty of time. There's going to be time for everybody to be heard. If someone's not getting heard, I'll make sure to single you out and make sure you are heard. Sound good?
Yeah, sounds great.
Cool. Right on. So, First question I have is, we've got a lot of candidates this year. It says we have 8 in total. So my question is, what do you think is the reason for we have 5 in total? That's what I thought. You know, the script. Hey, we're live. So my question is what is different about this year? Why do we have more candidates this year? What is happening that's drawing you folks to want to jump in?
Can I take that question?
Sure.
Yeah, absolutely. We do have 5 candidates, and I spoke with someone over at City Hall, and they said, this is something we haven't seen in a while. And not only do we have 5 candidates running for mayor, we got some heavy hitters here. We have our 6-time former mayor, Jose Estevez, also known as Uncle Joe in the community. And you have a sitting council member, Bob Nunez, with an extensive record in politics. And so I think folks look at me sometimes and, you know, they think, hey, if Rich from the neighborhood can do it, it's very possible. And you know what, Milpitas, it is true. But I want everybody here to know, all these candidates, that it takes a lot of hard work. You got to really get into the community. Folks really have to know you. You really have to build a relationship. And I'm proud to have gone to every single neighborhood in Milpitas. The last time we ran for mayor, we had 44 out of 45 neighborhoods won. And I'm so proud of Milpitas. And I want to go 45 out of 45 neighborhoods this year. I love you, Milpitas.
Well, there's so many candidates. Why? You know, when candidates come forward, there's a problem. You know, if the current council or mayor is okay, then, like me, you know, I didn't have much. I have opposition, but not much, because people just confirm with my leadership. It's troublesome if there's so many others saying just what Mr. Lee said. There's some problem out there. So all of us are coming forward to say we want to do better. We want to resolve issues. We want to address all those that we hear. And we hear negative things. And of course, there could be some truth. But the bottom part is, I'm sure all of us aim to have a better Milpitas. Why better? Because it's not the best right now. We want a Milpitas that's the best. I'm coming back. As I said, bring prestige and make Milpitas the best all the time. No mediocrity. No politics, but real service to people. And people don't see that. That's why I am disturbed myself, because this is my home, this is my city. Keep it up, keep it a prime city.
Well, if you look at the issues that we're facing,
we'll just let everyone jump in.
Yeah, you got to realize that, you know, we had issues in City Hall, city manager's office, misuse of taxpayer funds. That was overlooked. I took care of it. You want to look at the traffic, like you said, Uncle Joe. You know, traffic is impacted by the over 7,000 units that were approved and under construction or are completed under your leadership. You want to talk about schools? Well, it took 12 years for that Mabel Matos to get approved, and that's probably 8 years beyond the average of getting a school approved. And so if you're talking about getting some change in Milpitas, certainly I don't think that's what you should be touting, because you are the history and the establishment of what we've had.
So as much
and I'm coming in and I'm getting things done.
Well, so as much as I like the debate, there's 5 of us here. So one, I was really looking forward to 4 years as a council person, and jumping in now after 2 years. In my opinion, it really is about leadership. As much as I look back, and I appreciate all the work that was done by the previous council, and I look forward to the work that was going to be done going forward. In my opinion, we really have a 4-person council. And 4 persons, that's a heavy lift for 4 people. I think that we need a mayor that knows how to take all of council, pick a direction, build a team, and go in that direction. The same is true if you looked at the odor issue, if you looked at the traffic issue. All of those issues, in fact, take everybody going in the same direction, having a discussion. That's not being done now. And so if I look at least at the one statement made by Mr. Lee, I agree that right now things could be better. And I think what really needs to be done is two things. One is look at a city council, city manager form of government, because in the past we had a city manager, city council form of government, and I think that's changed now with our new city manager. But we need 5 people there, and I appreciate your constant attendance, Jose, because I think that's important. At the same time, Rich, you haven't been consistent with your attendance, not only at city council meetings, but at committee meetings and representing us at other functions. I think we need somebody that can actually go there. So if I took a look at the school district, just taking a look at the new school, that lift was done really back when Jose was still there, but there was others on the school district, the board, that helped put that together. Now we're looking at what we can do to help that school district finish that school, because they can't do it now. Those discussions are taking place without you at the table. They're taking place, but you're not there. I think with the odor, those are really taking place with the assembly person, with the city of San Jose, with other agencies, and you're not there. I think we need somebody that knows how to put groups together, let them go do their work and come back. They don't have to necessarily be there, but they know how to build a team, and that's what I don't see happening. So I think that's what needs to be happening now, and so I think that takes a different type of style than we have there now in the mayorship.
Councilmember Nunez is a jumper, like you said.
Hold on.
We're
going to let him take this one. He's been raising his hand. And if we can keep things just a little shorter, that'd be awesome. So go ahead, and then you can jump in after.
Voltaire Montemayor, the voice of the silent majority. Let me be the core of the 5 of us. I'm very close. I attend, Mr. Nunez attend meetings and seminars. I'm a sports-minded like Mr. Lee. Of course, in many ways, I go with former Mayor Joe. And Mayor Tran is a classmate of my son. I'm the core. I'm the overlap of everybody. So in other words, thank you. I knock on your doors. I'm now a commissioner in the Parks and Recreation Cultural Resources Commission. If you allow me to do everything, as I said, I'm the voice of the silent majority. Being me as a geologist, an engineer, a technician, and a Knights of Columbus chancellor, a servant of the Lord. In other words, I go to church all the time. I pray for Milpitas all the time. So in other words, I can handle a team. I was with a team in the Philippine government. I am with all the geologists, engineers. I plan for the whole Philippines, to survey the whole Philippines. In other words, I have with me the air, the land, and water. I am an ambassador of goodwill when I was sent by the Philippine government to Japan. In other words, when it comes to sport, I made the Philippines champion in chess. I was the board #1 in chess. In the championship.
You were the Bobby Fischer of the Philippines.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I play chess without a chessboard.
Thank you, Uncle. Thank you very much. And I did go to school with your son, Ben. I met him at Thomas Russell Middle School in the 7th grade, and what a great family that you have. But
thank you.
To reply to Councilmember Nunez and his statements on jumping and some of the things I must clarify, Councilmember Nunez is a jumper. He's from Southern California. He jumped around to a couple of school districts. All you have to do is Google search Bob Nunez.
Sorry for the interruption, but can I ask how long you'll be with Milpitas? It's a train. How long?
Let's go ahead and listen to him. Go ahead, Mr. Lee.
Yeah, but this should be good rotation. We don't just jump in, or otherwise some will monopolize.
But all you gotta do is Google it. He's on the Eastside Unified School District Superintendent. He jumped, and then he ran for Eastside Union School Board in 2010. He didn't make it, so he jumped. He went to Milpitas. Signed up to serve you for the Milpitas Unified School District 4 years. He only did 2. He jumped. You want to talk about commitment? You left our school district when we need it the most. Have you seen the high school? And so you're not there. And so now you sign up for a 4-year council term, and you're not even finishing the 4 years. It's 2 years. Now you want to jump again. And so Councilman Nunez is a jumper, and he is not there. He's looking to do 2 years as mayor. And what's next? Where are you jumping to next?
Yeah. Well, I heard that. But more importantly, as a mayor, your own self-attendance in the council. If you are not there, you are nothing. You didn't do anything. Don't claim anything. You are not there. And that's what's happening right now. The school, Mabel Matos, if it's not for our leadership, we bought the land. And that started the school. Without the land, no school. So it's still the city council. The city manager issue, it happened during his term because of turmoil and problems. And it's costing the city thousands of money on litigations. During my term, we have a smooth administration. We accomplished a lot. We focus on core services of the city. Everything else for the city. Roads, public safety, libraries, we supported the school, and many more. Life in Milpitas should be quiet, smooth, but excellent. That's how it should be. Less political turmoil and focus on core services of the city.
To you only, I will speak after you.
Yeah, Mr. Tran, I have a question. Were you born and raised in Milpitas? Because you say you're a hometown mayor.
Yes.
Yes? Oh, that's great. I'm sorry that I never go to Milpitas High School, but you went there, right? But I'm not from Milpitas. I'm living here.
You're not from Milpitas?
Well, I'm from Milpitas now, but I was not born and raised in Milpitas. But
That's fine.
you know about the Milpitas really well, right?
I think we all do if we're all going to sit here and try to attain the top spot here in Milpitas.
Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that you're born and raised in Milpitas, so you know about the Milpitas really well.
I think we all do, right?
Well, I'm still learning, to be honest with you.
You're still learning?
Yeah.
Okay.
But, well...
What are you worried about? What do you need to learn?
I'm telling you right now. Well, so far, I went to 5,500 houses and I met our Milpitas citizens.
What have you learned?
Well, let me finish first, Mr. Tran. You just lie. You know... Can you close up this camera? He say he's a resident since 1995. He just lying. He's a liar because resident of Milpitas since 1995, but he just lied that he was born and raised in Milpitas. And another one, Facebook message. How long have you lived in Milpitas? He just answered 23 years. But Milpitas Beat had an interview with Mr. Tran. He's saying 27 years. We don't want liar in this city. We don't want these people. I hope that you can make a better decision. And also, today, I want to show you something. This envelope and my USB port. I do have an older solution. I want to ask Mr. Tran, what did you do for past 2 years? Nothing. I went to 5,500 houses. Half of they support you last election, but now they will disappoint you. You know why? Because you keep lying. I do have all the paper, and let me open this envelope on November 6th. Please elect as your mayor. This is November 6th.
As I was saying,
And let's just try and keep it a little shorter. Go right ahead.
as I was saying, let me be in neutral. I've been in meetings of the 5 former mayors, Mr. Pitt, Bob, Mayor Joe, Mayor Tran. I've been to the last term of the previous term of Mr. Steves, and all those times, city council meeting, I believe I'm 100%, but not maybe 99 because I'm late for some meetings. In other words, I've learned all about Milpitas. I have a pile of city council meetings, agendas. As I said, let me be the one because I know everybody now. I was with probably the uncle of Mr. Lee.
Yes.
I was sent by the Philippine government. My co-ambassador of goodwill is from Korea, Mr. Parks.
Okay.
In other words, I respect
that.
I respect your nationality.
Okay.
I'm with Bob. I work with amigos.
Okay.
I work with amigos everywhere.
Okay.
With Brother Joe. I am the singer in the church, choir member. He is the lector. We are both in Knights of Columbus, servants of the Lord, couples for Christ. Now here comes Mayor. The Mayor, thank you, Mayor. You appointed me as alternate Parks Commissioner.
You're welcome, sir. We line on
Thank you. So I'm the core of everybody. I know everybody's weakness now. There are strengths. I am not considering your strength. I respect everybody. And maybe this is my chance now. I was weak. We were also 8 candidates for city council when I was running for city council, my first. We were 5 last time for mayor also. Marini, Tran, me, 2 ladies, Giordano and Montano. We were 5 last time. So in other words, there's no change in the number of candidates for mayor.
If you could wrap it up in 5 seconds, that'd be great.
So I will speak again, and thank you. I have more time, I believe so. Thank you.
I'm moving on to the next question, and the next question is, it sounds like all of you have your hand on the pulse of this city. So with a low amount of voters, 40% less, nationally, how do you, gentlemen, get more voters? How do you get people in this town more interested in their government?
Yeah, absolutely. We're expecting, 14,000 voters this year here in Milpitas. And then you got 5 candidates. Many of them are viable candidates, I will say. And I do have respect for each person here. And it's going to take a lot of hard work. The hard work's going to pull away. Who's going door to door? Mr. Lee says he's going door to door. I greatly respect his efforts because that's Milpitas. We're a small town, 13.5 square miles. And persons like myself, I'm able to walk from Landis to Jacqueline and up to even Warm Springs. And so that's really going to be the telltale sign this year here in Milpitas. The mailers aren't going to do it. You're going to have to meet residents face to face.
My count last time is 20 voters. Your vote, the other 3 votes, and mine, I think it equals to 20,000 turnout last election.
Okay. I'm very happy that I'm running because I did not have to encourage voters to vote, but when they heard that I'm running, they're more encouraged to vote and said, yes, we want you back because we are in trouble. And so I'm very grateful to the people. If you drive around Milpitas, you can see my signs from corner to corner all of the city. Not just on public freeways where you can put your sign regardless, but mine was picked up by people with their own sincere heart to help and support because they care about our city. We cannot afford to have a downgrade going down city. We have to keep it up. We have to compete. We have to be at par with anybody else. We are between 2 big cities. We make sure that we are not drowned. We get all the businesses. We serve families, children, and high neighborhood quality of life and so on. That's what they like. So I mentioned the 3 things. Good education. We support the good performing schools that we have. We have to support them. That's why I support AA for the sake of the schools and children and families. I support fighting for expansion of 237 and the Calaveras because that's traffic. Housing, I support, I help in the housing crisis. That's why we have smart growth, building only in the BART or transit area portion called Transit Area Specific Plan. If you look at records, I voted no on all the housing on Milpitas Boulevard, on Los Coches, on California Circle, because I agree those are not the places for housing. But we need houses where there's transit, and that's what we're doing. That's called the smart growth, mass-oriented kind of development, and pedestrian-oriented kind of development. We did our share of housing for all the people of the valley.
Uncle Joe, can you look in the camera and say you didn't pay anybody to put your sign on their yard?
No, I didn't pay anybody. It's all free. Why will I pay? I have too many signs already. I don't need one more sign and pay.
Can you say you voted for the landmark towers?
I'm going to let Mr.
Twin
Nunez
stories,
jump in
23
Because
stories.
I really would like to go to the question.
Yes, thank you.
And I think the question really is about getting more voters out. And so what I hear all the time, Bob, you're good at all these ways of the mailers, which I think aren't that. I think you need to have those. I think the opportunities to actually go out and meet the community, we're doing that. Social media, I get that, but since that's not a medium that I really like to go into, I do it, but it's not something that I grew up with, so it's not something I'm going to use as the major portion of what I do. But I do go out, and I probably, when people say they're going to walk, and I smile and say, well, why are you doing it only now? We have community meetings. I'm out in that community all the time throughout the year. And so when you say, Joe, that, and I believe that you were voted the best elected official, so I'm proud to say that when I was on the school board, I was voted. And
Congratulations, that means a lot.
yeah,
Myself
and then-
as well.
Yeah, and then
Best elected, not just honorary.
and then coming out in today's post, I will be the best elected official this time.
Wow.
And
Milpitas
so-
residents love the best.
No, I wasn't that strong, but believe me, I'll be as strong as you now. I'll be as strong as
So I
the
think
four
though,
of you now.
that what persons look for is you can't just walk and drop your stuff. You can't just walk and smile and say, I was born here and I've been here my whole life. You have to have something behind that. And so what you have to tell them is what you've done. Not what you hope to do, not what you think you're going to do, but what you've actually done here. You have to tell your story. And that's what I think I do better, because I can point to things that I've done or helped to do as part of a team. And so those votes that you got back, that whole string, is impressive, and that's important. And so those are things I'm proud of. So when you're walking, it's important to be able to say in this city, for the school district, there's certain things I can point to that's not just about land, it's curriculum in this city. When we talk about homes, those persons that say, I've never voted for a single new housing unit. You keep doing that, and at some point the state takes that away and they do it for us. You have to know what you're voting for and why. So I think it's using all those mediums.
Councilmember Nunez talks about the medium of social media. He doesn't want to be on there. You know, he'll get called out. All you got to do is Google Bob Nunez, and you'll pull up articles about him in the past, and that's why he's not on social media.
Next question. Do you support having a second high school in Milpitas, and what are you willing to do to make that happen?
I'm so proud to be the first Milpitas Trojan elected to the mayor seat, and there's nothing I want more than to see the next Milpitas High graduate become the mayor. And even when I was at Milpitas High School in 2002, 2003, when I graduated, it was hard. It was hard. I'll be quite honest with you. A lot of times I'd have lunch in my classroom because the benches were all full. A lot of times I'd get in line for lunch, and I would get to the front of the lunch line and lunch would be over. And that's really a testament to the past school board going back decades. Whoever was in the school board wasn't doing very well. And we're here in 2018. The school's designed for 1,500 students, and we have a record 3,300 students this year. And it's just a disaster. You see what's happening over there at the campus. So I will be supporting a second high school campus. Our school board this year is incredible. Such a higher level of performance than those school board members in the past, and
So how-
we
how
have to
gonna have a
support
second high
Measure
school?
AA, and I think those funds will be primarily dedicated to a second campus over at the former air site.
First of all, I'm for that. But I believe I believe I got the record on always attending to a meeting with Superintendent Jordan, Mrs. Jordan. He speaks about school, and there are remedies already, there are plans. Another comprehensive school is being planned, but it seems like it's tough for now. We may not have an open space. So what they do now is to improvise. We may have an annex on these schools, but I believe there should be another comprehensive school. There are remedies now for people not to get by standards. We will make a move to have at least technical schools. That I always attend to these breakfast meetings, all meetings that the superintendent is attending. I am there. Thank you.
If you look at my ballot statement, right there and there, I'm the first one to say, yes, I support a second high school. It's a ballot statement. If you're serious about it, you should have mentioned that, not just say in words. Number two, when I was mayor, we partnered with the school and we're trying to locate a location. And the city is ready to support in terms of permitting, rezoning, and things like that. And we're doing that. Thirdly, I salute the school district. They're doing their job. They're doing their best with whatever resource they have. And they're working hard too to really know the best thing to do about the high school. It's not just a second high school, but many other alternatives for the students. And I support that. So in other words, let's work with the school district honestly with our resources as well. Budget. Let's budget some for the school district to help them. In other words, not only words, but in deed. And yes, second high school would be to the betterment of families.
Sir, you've been there
Mr.
20
Lee.
years. What have you done for the school district?
District, a lot. Okay, when I was mayor, there's an achievement gap. Thank you for the question. And we funded Raising a Reader to bridge the gap, because if there's a gap, there will be delinquency of the students, and we minimize that because the city funded Raising a Reader for preschoolers, for children who cannot afford preschool, and that's very important. Number two, we did a lot of after-school program to help the students, tutoring, any kind of practices. Number three, the biggest one, the library. The library is nothing but for education of children and their parents. Instead of them going to Great Mall, they go. It's not that Great Mall is bad, but it's always great to go to the library.
Let's wrap it up.
Okay, thank
Cool.
you.
I have a question for Mr. Lee. We're going to go on to the next question. Why are you a Democrat or a Republican? Which one are you and why?
I'm a Democrat because I want to support our citizens for affordable housing, and Democrat, they support affordable housing that I have. That's why I support and join the Democrat.
Any Republicans?
I'm a Republican.
Yeah.
And I'm Republican because I'm fiscally conservative. I want to make sure that we have the dollars to do what we say we're going to do. Oddly enough, Republicans also support affordable housing. And you can tell that by who led that charge here in the city. Since I've been on that council, I've been with that group. If you just take a look at what we did in Sunny Hills, the 3 votes to support Sunny Hills were the vice mayor, Anthony Pham, and myself to save that city. So not only did we support and save affordable housing, but we kept 300 people from being put out on the street.
Well, can I say something regarding the question? Well, I researched and heard about this for the Sunny Hill, the neighbors. I know who is the owner, which is like the owner of the Sacramento Kings. My 3 good friends work for the Sacramento Kings as a coach and development coach and scout there. And
Their new arena is
Thank you.
yes,
I'm a member of the Sunny Hills Neighborhood Association.
yeah. So if I'm elected as a mayor, I'm gonna speak to the owner and then solve the problem, because I'm a sports agent since 2002. I'm really have good negotiation skill. So I know several owners, and I'm meeting so many like NBA and WNBA owners in person. They always come to the gym first before I come. I would appreciate their effort. But like I say, I have a connection and I can solve the problem for Sunny Hills.
Thanks, for City Council. There is a moratorium, the extended favor for the tenants at Sunny Hills.
But,
Yeah,
but any help we would like.
Well, I mean,
I like that. I like that.
personally,
That's good.
I know what he want. That's why he purchased the Sacramento Kings from the previous owner. I know previous owner really well too. He owned the Palms Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas. Right. Well, he sold the casino and also Sacramento Kings out well. So
Thank you. And back to the topic of being a Republican or a Democrat. And I know we have Bob Nunez, the former president of the county Republicans. I appreciate your service. And even Jose Estevez, a true Republican. This year, I'm not endorsed by the Democrats or the Republicans, and I'm not about a party. I'm about potholes. And we need to focus on the things that we deal with every single day. Street lights are out, potholes in the ground, parks in disarray. We need to ensure Milpitas is looking good and feeling good for your everyday experience.
I'm registered.
Question.
Go ahead.
If you're on potholes, what's your current PCI index for the city?
That's a good question. with the potholes, I don't know about the index. I do know I drive down.
You should know.
I do know I drive through Milpitas and it's not looking good.
No.
And
Roads
so we have
should be
Mr. Tran, you should know the index.
and we
With
have
PCI
we have a
index.
5-year
That's the
plan in
pavement-
the CIP to
That's a
improve all the
pavement
roads.
condition index. It
That
will
doesn't make
tell
any
you.
sense.
Last year, I
During my
supported
term, it's
Public Works
70.
Department.
It's continuous
And
maintenance.
so what does that do for us?
Okay, hang on. We've got a comment over here.
Maintenance,
Yeah. What does it do
continuous
for us?
maintenance.
I'm gonna-
Voltaire,
for us? What
Montemayor.
does it do
No
for us?
potholes. No potholes.
What's an index do for
No
us?
potholes.
I'm gonna have Voltaire hop in real quick on this.
What does it do?
I am a registered Democrat, but I respect both party. I like what President Trump is doing. I like what the governor's doing and all the mayors around also.
What do
They're
you
helping.
like that President Trump's doing? Like, what feels good about that?
I believe job is up. And I don't want to go deeper.
No, that's
I want
okay.
it simple. Yeah.
I just want the people to kind of get a sense of that, because we're not all black and white. We're gray, and there's gray areas. Like, you were even supporting, this
I wanted his help.
Mr. Lee helping the economy. So part of what I'm also
big
trying to do
supporter.
is seeing what we agree on,
Right
as opposed
now-
to
We are
just going
come
at
here
each
for
other.
Right
support
now-
our citizens.
Right now, the economy is good, but I want to help the dreamers. I'm not in favor of the fence. In other words, I could open my backyard. If I have vegetables in my backyard, I share. I don't want to put a hard fence there for people starving on the other side of the fence. In other words, I'm in between, although I am a registered Democrat.
So I'm going to ask one last question, and then I'm going to go around, and I have single questions for each of you in which we won't be interrupting or responding to. So this last one is, and I'm kind of getting a sense of it, is do you see Milpitas as a family-friendly, small town? That's what I'm feeling. Or do you see it as a cutting-edge Silicon Valley? Like or if you see it as both, about how much? Like 60-40, 80-20? Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I see Milpitas as absolutely a family-oriented town. That's where our heart started and originated in, and it's based on families. Our community is based on families 100%, and every decision that we make in City Hall, every decision that I've made, every vote, every yes, every no, every abstain has been to put Milpitas families first. Now, you don't build all these homes over by the Great Mall, surpassing the minimum that was needed by the federal government when the BART came in. I think we need approximately about 4,000, 4,500 homes. We've built 7,000. And folks here I'm sitting next to, they're looking to build more. And that's not right for our schools. That's not right for our parks, for our leagues, PAL soccer, PAL football, everybody out there at the sports center, every park, Murphy Park. We don't have enough parks. We are a family-oriented community that was built on parks. And when you talk about public safety, right? My number one goal is to protect you and your family. The biggest investment you have, your mortgage, your home. And we're building 7,000 new units over there by the Great Mall. Tens and thousands of new people. Our public safety staffing levels are nowhere near where it should be. Folks are retiring. You're telling me we're going to add 10, 20% increase in our public population, and you're not going to have staffing levels with the police and fire that are adequate to the ratios that we've had in the past? Let me tell you something. Once that BART opens up and all those homes open up, you better believe our public safety, fire, police, they're going to be over there spending way more time and resources, especially with the skyscrapers that some of these individuals up here have approved over on the other side of town.
Is it a playwright?
And so that's less patrol in your neighborhood. When's the last time you've seen a patrol officer around Burnett, on Kennedy, Yosemite,
wrap this one up.
Yellowstone, Arizona? And it's a disaster waiting to happen. And so I need to do all I can with your support to put families first.
Okay. It should be 50-50. Okay? Mr. Friend doesn't know that for every development, we have some funds already allotted to increase police, fire, and all services. It's all sustainable. We don't have to think about it. It's up there that we put it. So don't worry. We'll have enough police to cover for every population. Number two, okay, businesses and jobs. We cannot afford not to have jobs. People, parents have to work. So we cannot totally eliminate jobs. What's the best way? Smart growth. Build where it is appropriate. See, minimize cars, encourage transit-oriented kind of development. That's the best. Public safety is more than what they're doing now, should be more than. For example, zero tolerance with respect to drugs. I am for that. I'm going to fight for that.
Let's wrap
Use
this one up.
of cyberspace to really fight, to articulate or high-profile crime. We should have that. We have the best police and fire already, but we can do better all the time. We're in Silicon Valley. We should do that.
I'm gonna let somebody else jump in. Anyone here? Yeah, go ahead.
When I meeting our citizens day by day, like 100% our citizens telling me that please solve the odor problem. Yes, now I have a solution for our citizens. This envelope have value which is 88 million to 90 million that I can get for fixed or solve the odor problem. And this USB port that I have, which is about like 700 pages, that's why I couldn't bring it today. Well, we need to transfer better environment for our next generation. That's what I really want. I love Milpitas. I love Milpitas families.
So what's on the flash drive?
I have 4 solutions for our citizens.
So you have like a master plan on there laid out.
Oh, this is not plan. I have a solution. This value over 88 million. I only have a plan and solution with my members.
Got it. Did you two gentlemen want to speak on that? And then we're going to go to singles, and then we're going to wrap this one up and give each other big high fives and pat
So
on
read the
back.
question again. I just want to make sure that.
So the
That's a good question.
So the question is, do you think that Milpitas is a small family town? Or do you think it's a Silicon Valley, or kind of what I'm hearing from Mayor Tran is that it's a small town and it could be becoming more of this big metropolis? So if you could speak to that, that'd be awesome.
So I actually think it used to be a small family town, and it is really no longer that. It is not going to be 50-50, simply because Bart's coming. Bart is here.
Yep.
It is going to be more probably 60-40, 70-30. Those persons that say, no, it's not, really are those that say, not in my backyard. We have ours, and we just don't want to share. And if you look at the last 3 sessions in the state, what the state keeps proposing is that if we don't build houses, we don't build homes, they're going to take that right away from local jurisdictions, and they will do it for us. And I don't want that to happen. We have to find a way to actively put in business sections, commercial sections, R&D, and go out and find those places those companies that'll come here and produce the income that'll support our infrastructure. I really applaud those that came before us that got BART here. But now we have to look at the walking scores and those things that will bring the families down to that transit district. Because it wasn't built for that. It was really built for those that would come, live here, and then take off on BART. I'd like to make those more family-oriented. I think we need to take a look at Calaveras and Montague and make those places that they can stop and eat and live. But I think that the time that this town is able to say that we're a family city, we're long gone.
Got it. Yes, sir.
Yeah, we will be known throughout the world. We will say smallest and most popular town in the world eventually. From there, what they're saying, family, and the candidates, all candidates. We're now in the micro goal, that's thus far, going up to macro goal. In other words, we want Milpitas be the champions in everywhere, in every sports. Do we want marathon climbing the mountains, not going down, it's dangerous. We want to climb, bike up to the Ed11, not going down, it's dangerous. In other words, we will have a Milpitas festival known over the world. We have beauty queens, we have everything, all the sports people. We will sing the national anthem. I don't know what the other players will say, but we will sing the national anthem. I don't want to say we will stand or not, as long as we will sing the national anthem in Milpitas proudly. We will have a happy and safe Milpitas. We will have an enjoyable place. Yeah.
Cool.
And so let's do a little fact checking real quick.
Actually, hang on. I have a question for you.
Okay.
I want to make sure we have time so that each of you can answer this question and the questions I have and kind of say your piece. We've got a lot done. Thanks for not taking it personal when I cut you off. So I'm going to start with Mayor Tran. So the mayor has the same voting power as other city council members. So in order for the mayor to lead, he or she needs the council majority voting with him or her. I'm just trying to clear that up, but I guess it's all men here. Why do you think that you haven't received that support thus far?
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks a lot for that question, Mitch. And
Thank Rhoda. She wrote it.
Hey, Rhoda, how you doing over there? Thank you. Surprisingly, I have received a lot of support. If you look at the voting record going back to my first day, the council and I have been very progressive with a lot of the policies that we've pushed forward. Some of the things that I'm so thankful to the council for, a lot of unanimous votes, was the permanent parking program in the Pines, accelerated minimum wage, the 15% set-aside ordinance for affordable housing, reopening the sports center complex fields so that folks in the community will have a space to have some fitness and exercise. That was unanimous. Massage parlor, stricter regulations. Thank you, Councilmember Nunez, for supporting that. My traffic calming plan, which was pushed forward about a month or two ago. Thank you very much, Councilmember Nunez, for supporting that. The only issue where I'm outvoted 4-1, sometimes 2-3, is with housing. With the high density, with the 23-story twin towers that my competitors have supported. Other than that, I'm very thankful for the council, a very progressive group. But if I may fact check, building all these homes and our jobs to resident ratio is very poor right now. I used to hear you tell it used to be 1 to 9 jobs to 1.9 jobs to one resident. But if you look at recent studies, that number's been demolished by all the new homes. And we're getting to a point where we're not having enough jobs for residents. Thank you.
Awesome. Mr. Nunez, I have a question for you. What
Could
we don't have time to do that. You're going to get to answer this question, and what motivated you to step in and run for mayor just halfway into the first term as a council member?
And so two things.
Sure.
One is, and I think I said this to start with, that I actually feel we have a 4-person council. So I'm going to get to answer what I was going to say.
Plus.
Thank you.
Yes.
I probably don't agree with everything you said, Rich, in that some of those things you said we agreed with, they really were agreements to have staff look at it as opposed to passing them.
That's where it starts, correct?
No, I disagree.
We're not going to interject on these last ones.
So I think that some of them were attempts to say, let's get on with the business that we had in front of us. So I think that I decided to jump in when I saw that we really could not, as a council, turn to your seat and say, let's look for direction, let's look for leadership. It wasn't there. So I was not the first one that looked at from council to look to that seat. I was really willing to sit and really learn about how city councils work and do my 4 years. But after discussion from others, said, okay, I will attempt to run for mayor. If that's a seat persons put me in, fine. If not, I will sit in my seat as a council member. But I think that the city really needs 5 persons up there. And right now, we feel that we are running as a council of 4.
What's next, Bob Nunez?
Hang on, we're just going solo on this one. I have a question for Mr. Estevez. So you've served this city for 12 years.
As mayor.
As mayor. So what gives you the energy to keep going on and wanting to keep doing this? Like, where's the fire come from? Just list one thing.
Well, I will repeat what I said at the beginning.
Yep.
Milpitas is my home.
Uh-huh.
I'm saying going it downgrade. I cannot blame Mr. Nunez for running again, for willing to run, because there's no leadership. In fact, one person said, an ordinary person could even run against this current mayor, maybe do better. So that's insulting. So I said, let me offer back my services. I love my city. bank on the many accomplishments we have, performance and character. Character means no lying, straight facts. That's also very important. It carries public trust. When you're that position, public trust. Quality of life is very important. Mr. Tran mentioned about parks. We built multitude of parks during my term. What new parks is new? Nothing. So it's just words. So let's put action instead of words. Let's work. If there's no work, there's nothing for families, for children, and things like that. Action comes first. Potholes, PCI index shows how good is your street. You don't have to count the potholes.
Let's wrap this one up. Thank
Okay, so important thing is you have good knowledge about city operation, the core services, and what's important to the city as a whole.
Perfect.
Financial rating, and many more. Jobs is more than population in Milpitas.
Thank you. Voltaire, I got a question. So I hear that you're famous for never missing a meeting.
Yes.
Like that you're on top of it. Now, I want to know what's behind that, but I want to tell you an opposite. My dad, Angelo Costanza, he's a Rotarian. If he misses a meeting, they fine him in the Rotary. They fine him like $20 that goes in the pot. They're not fining you. You're still showing up. Tell us why.
As they know, 1, 2, 3, maybe not much, or you, Mr. Lee. I stayed up to past midnight. If the meeting is adjourned past midnight, I stay. And then from that meeting, I still go and check the doors around the church facilities. In other words, I've been calling police. I have records there that when something's happening there, I call the police. And there will be a PRT from Mr. Mint's project connecting the bar, the station. In other words, like me, as I'm all around as far as if you can read my my pliers going on, I'll make Milpitas known. It should be a very happy place. In addition, I was saying, I will adopt what they got. I will overcome if there's to be overcome. I will improve. We will make Milpitas. I am the voice of the silent majority. My name is VSM, Voice of the Silent Majority. I will make Milpitas great. I promise.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Mr. Lee, question for you. You're a newcomer. What's your experience been like on the campaign trail? Clearly, you're going door to door. You're doing tons of research on your opponents. What's it like to be you in this experience?
Well, first of all, we need a new leadership. Past 2 years, Mr. Tran worked.
Oh, wait, let's stay away from Mr. Tran. Okay. What I want to know is what it's been like for you getting to go door to door. And if you could stick with that, that would be fantastic. Because I know you got a lot of heart with that.
Yeah, let me answer your question. I mean, these days, I'm meeting like 5,500 people. And they're telling me, and even one voice speak like louder, which is me. Like they want me to go to the court, which is go to boxing ring and talk to our neighbor and be a spokesman. So that's why I'm running for the mayor. And I have a 3-year-old daughter already saying, "Daddy, what's the matter with this?" At the safe at 9:30 p.m. And maybe every time we go there,
What's the matter with what specifically?
Odor problem from the landfill, but when I investigate about the odor, that's not from only for landfill. We have a Santa Clara Water District and also other landfill as well. But landfill from the Dixon Landing, it takes about 80% and 20% from the Santa Clara Water District. So now I have a solution for that. So now I can talk to my daughter that Daddy can solve the problem within 2 years.
Awesome. Thank you for being so concise. I appreciate that. So I have a question for everybody. How are we on time? Can I open this one up? Cool. Just let me know. We're going to do as much as we can. Thank you all for your participation. This is an awesome panel. I'm happy to be a part of it. So my question is, if the mayor's vote is equal that of the city council, then why even have a mayor?
Yeah, definitely. We are an all-American city. We have such great history going back to 1954 and beyond. And we are like any other city in America, and we have a mayor and we have a council. I am one vote, and that's by our government structure design. We can take a look at going into a different type of government system where there's more power for a mayor. But what I take great pride in, Milpitas, is being your voice. And although I am one vote, just like everybody else, which is fine. I really am thankful, and I'm so thankful to you for allowing me to be your voice, and whoever that you decide to be your next mayor, whether it's myself or any of these candidates, this person will be your voice, and this will be the person that you put your greatest trust into. And I hope that every Milpitian takes a look at every other candidate and scrutinize them for their imperfections. And at the end of the day, who are you going to count as being your family?
Could you read the question again, please?
Yeah, sure. The question is, if the mayor's vote is equal to that of the city council, then why even have a mayor?
Good, because that wasn't what I thought I heard answered. So
Cool. Thanks for checking in.
So I think that the structure set forth by the legislature says you have a mayor and then you have council persons. In a charter city, I understand the difference. We're not that. We're a general law city. And so the real reason, it's ceremonial mostly, but when I first thought that, I said, so what is the difference? Well, you send that person out to represent you a lot. And so when you send that person out to represent you in front of county government, state elected officials, federal elected officials, other countries, you want sure that person represents you in the light, in a position that you've all agreed to, not going out representing their position.
Like what Mayor Tran was saying, being the voice.
No. Taking a position that, in fact, you've all decided is the position you want. So when you talk about the position that we don't want housing is not a position the city has taken. And so as I look at it, you want somebody that knows what the parameters are and reflects those. And I think that for me, even though it's ceremonial, you want somebody that knows what those parameters are and abides by them.
Okay.
Quickly on the last three.
Okay. Go for it. Yeah.
Why have a mayor? Well, I consider the mayor job more than one vote. Of course, he presides over the meeting. He makes sure that everybody participates, everybody is able to contribute, and initiates plus and minus kind of a discussion. Number two, I consider the job as a lead job in terms of city planning, proposing new projects. Like I did propose the library, the senior center, and many parks and many, many more. That's very important for the mayor to do. Number three, we need the mayor to have a great understanding of all the issues and be able to disseminate to everybody. Of course, every council member should be doing that, but I expect the mayor to be doing that. Number four, mayors should be the ambassador
We got to
of
move
the
on.
city.
Did anyone else want to answer this
And
question?
then should represent the city well.
Go ahead. Sorry, we're just short on time.
Yes.
Thank you, though.
I'm not in favor of affirmative action in reference to the head counts, in reference to the project. What is good for everybody, what I observe is the best. I also consider how hard is a presenter is. I understand their position. They're begging. They're trying to present. In other words, I consider that too. But still, I'm not in favor of affirmative action. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're passionate. You're not even Italian. I'm the guy. I'm the Italian here. I'm talking with my hands.
Yeah.
Just give me another sentence or two, and then we're going to wrap this thing up.
What is good for everybody?
I'll get to you. Don't worry.
Yeah, they say a contradiction of the housing project versus traffic. That's a very big issue. We'll solve that. I got the S in my name. I have the solution. Thank you.
I love all these taglines.
Why do
They're
we need
fun. Go ahead.
Why do we need a mayor? Because we need a good leader for this city. Think about it. I mean, be honest with you, I respect what our President Donald Trump doing. He's the only one who protect our Americans. So I'm here. I'm running for this mayor because I want to protect our citizens and our family and our neighbors. Thank you.
Awesome. We're going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank our panel for being here. And I can tell you one thing about all of these candidates. They are passionate about this city. That's all I can tell you. That's one thing that I found. We've got one other thing. Oh, did we miss somebody?
1 minute for each to close
Oh, that's right. Okay, cool. I didn't put that on there. Yeah, what am I doing here? What's this for if I'm going to ignore it? So this one, I'm going to be really tight on time. We're just going to take 30 seconds. All I need to know is one thing, the number one thing you want to do if elected. That's it. That's all I need to know. The number one thing. Go for it.
My co-residents, co-citizens of Milpitas, as I said, we will make Milpitas happy and safe. It's a broad term, but I will start with sports. We will be the best. We will be the best in sports. We will be the best in projects. We will consider all the needed things. I forgot Mr. Marini. Marini is, his baby is about water rights. So thank you, Mr. Marini.
So being the best. Got it. Okay, you're up, Bob.
So when I first came here, I think that the one thing that I heard was about the odor. And there are so many studies and all these things we were doing, but at the end of the day, after attending a number of meetings, you have to have control. You have to have a vote on what happens over all these landfills. So coming up is a Bay Area Air Quality Management District chair, a seat, sitting on that board. One of the things about me is getting to know most persons that sit there. So that is coming up. I've got 4 persons that are going to recommend me to sit on that board. So we actually have a vote about what can go in there, what they have to do. My goal is to get 2 more votes so that I can sit there representing Milpitas, so we actually have direct access and a vote.
Let's wrap this one up.
What goes on to that landfill and every landfill around here.
Awesome. Mr. Lee, what's the number one thing you would do if mayor?
Well,
number one, just tell me that.
Number one, order, traffic, and sorry, I have one more, and affordable housing. I went to Sunny Hills, but I haven't met the people yet. I also went to the Pine community. I have a promise that I will do my best to refund what the city charge.
Awesome.
Okay.
Mr. Estevez.
Yeah. Dear Milpitas, I'm very happy to be here and be back to serve all of you. I take care of the environment. I'm the only one endorsed by the Sierra Club because I'm environmentally conscious and will always protect our environment. Of course, excellence in government precedes in our city of Milpitas.
Perfect.
Excellence, no mediocrity, character, and accomplishments are the best. So, you are my boss. I'll serve you again.
Thank you very much. Mayor Tran, let's wrap this thing up.
Okay, great. I'm looking at this camera right here.
Do it.
First, I want to address attendance. I have missed 2 or 3 meetings due to my service in the National Guard, and so it really hurts when these public servants up here talk about me missing the meeting because I'm supporting a wildfire or doing hurricane support. It really hurts as I serve this country and hear folks come at me for missing a meeting. But hey, the one thing I want to do is put Milpitas families first. You've seen my voting record the last nearly 2 years, and you've been happy with it. I want to keep it going. I have candidates I'm supporting that are going to put Milpitas families first too. Please take a look at them. Carmen Montano and Tim Alcorn. I'm here for you 24/7. You see me on Facebook. You got my phone number, 408-755-5554. I love you, Milpitas.
This has been awesome. I'm Mitch Costanza, Milpitas Beat. This has been Unfiltered. I want to thank my panel, and we'll see you soon for our next panel.